Hey y'all. I just did the triple pack opening earlier today. I recorded that. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's fun for me to rip the packs open and see what I get. I get something pretty good at the end. So check that out if you want. It's on my channel. It's also on Twitter. But yeah, I happen to be rocking also the Portland Retro Threads, the Bill Walton. Spirit of 77 indeed. How sick is this? How sick is... Yeah, it's... If it wasn't flipped, you'd get the idea. But one of my favorite days of the 2-week cycle is wearing this shirt. But I just saw a video from Moment Ranks. I really have enjoyed Moment Ranks. I've really enjoyed Shot Talking. And honestly, Shot Talking is one of the big reasons I decided to start this channel. Because I thought to myself, I want to do my own version of it. We are, I think, still very much in the beginning of the Top Shot content cycle. There is a lot of ground to be covered. I don't think we've just scratched the surface of this thing, and I think that there's a lot of room for different voices in the space, you know? So I've decided to be one of them for whatever good it does me here, you know? And I just saw a video. The subject was... are Flash Challenge bottlenecks too high? Maybe it said that they were too high. Whatever the case may be, are Flash Challenge bottlenecks too high? And the answer is no. They're not. Because are they? I mean, if you own a Franz Wagner, is it too high to get a Franz Wagner in a challenge? You know, if you own Desmond Bain, is it too high for a Grizzlies fan? You know, like, who's it too high for? It's too high for someone sitting on the, you know, someone who doesn't have these. I mean, there's a couple of different things, but let's break this down unequivocally and say, for the record, NBA Top Shot does not know who's going to be the first person to 5 assists in a game when they put out a challenge that says, get the 9 players who get to 5 assists first in their respective games. NBA Top Shot doesn't know who that's going to be. They don't know if it's going to be Franz Wagner. They don't know if Jahlil Okafor is going to sign a 10-day in the middle of the game and get 5 assists before anybody else does. They don't know. Nobody's clairvoyant here. Like, you know, it's not like any team is like, okay, you're going to get 5 assists first. There's no record. There's no stat for who gets 5 assists first in a game. There's no stat for who takes the most threes. I mean, they are approximating value. They are putting that value into a challenge. They're saying, okay, if NBA Top Shotters contribute this much value to be essentially staked, we think it is appropriate to reward them with this approximate value where, you know, the archive set could be anywhere from $9 to $180 to $500 if you get 3 LeBrons and you're lucky. I did see a pack like that once. So, but, you know, mostly in the 9 to 60 range, you know. So... yeah, if you're looking for it, if you're looking to get something out of it, and you're looking at Desmond Bain, you're looking at Franz Wagner and being like, I can't do this, then the challenge isn't for you. Nowhere in the NBA Top Shot guidelines does it say you must participate in every challenge, or you're even encouraged to. Certain challenges are for certain cohorts, right? They talk about cohorts, like when you got into Top Shot, what sets you like. There are different groups of us. Some people got in pre-February. Some people got in post-April. You know, I'm one of the latter. You know, and when I came to Top Shot, I knew I could not afford Series 1. Every collector is not meant for every set. Every collector is not meant for every challenge. In the beginning, I could basically do no challenges. When I started during I guess the playoffs challenges were really my first challenges. And then as time went on, I was able to do more and more challenges because I was growing and I was making good decisions and things were starting to pay off and I was starting to make a little impact and get some interesting challenge rewards. Like one of my favorites was the Ja Morant Hustle and Show, I believe I got. So, or maybe did I pay for that after the fact? But you can get good challenge rewards. You can get a pack like the rookie year. Showcase challenge back when it was a showcase challenge. Like, you can do that if you have the pieces. Nowhere does it say, A, that NBA Top Shot knows exactly what value you're going to need. They come up with a concept. there may be certain players predisposed to do certain things that night. They may realize that Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Evan Mobley are playing on the same night, and they have favorable matchups or something like that. And for the most part, they've avoided Toronto games, so the argument that they're somehow plotting to have Scotty Barnes be prominently featured in a challenge is not really that accurate, because we rarely have challenges. Someone pointed this out on Twitter. We rarely have challenges on games on nights where Toronto plays. So there's no argument there. There's no argument that they're secretly plotting behind the scenes. I mean, if you told me that Franz Wagner was going to be the first one to 5 assists out of any game of the night tonight, which is Wednesday night's Flash Challenge, the first to 5 assists challenge, I wouldn't have agreed. I would have said, no, it's probably going to be, some guard, some actual guard, Maybe it could have been Cole Anthony or someone like that. Like, I don't think of Franz Wagner when I think of 5 assists in a quarter or 5 assists in a quarter and a half. Like, so, yeah, I mean, there's nothing NBA Top Shot can do about it. B, they're not actively planning when they set up the challenge to make it more difficult than they can. And C, an easy challenge is about commons. You only need commons. Some commons are way more prohibitive than others. It is not their fault. It is not our fault. And furthermore, D, certain people benefit from it. If you are not one of those people benefiting from it, quite frankly, too bad. I don't mean to be a hard you-know-what, but if somebody else is benefiting from them, why not just be happy for them? You know what I'm saying? We need not all benefit from every challenge. We all want to participate in certain things. We can only participate in certain things where we're predisposed based on our collection. So in a way, the fandom that we have sets us up to be good in certain areas and bad in other areas. And that's okay. If you can't get an Evan Mobley, don't get one. If you think Evan Mobley could have that kind of a night, don't start until you see whether Evan Mobley is going to get to hit the benchmark that you need. Like I saw for the 3-point attempt challenge, I believe it was. No. It was the point challenge. It was it was this. It was flashback, actually. That Kevin Durant had like 24 in the third quarter. And I'm like, against Portland, I was like, is it possible that KD could get 7 points in a game where the Nets are down 7 to put the Nets over the top in a close game in the fourth quarter? I think you all know the answer to that. So I reserved. I was like, let me not get an RJ, an Embiid, or a Donovan Mitchell until I see what happens with Durant, because if I'm going to need a rare Durant, I'm not going to finish the rare challenge or the hard challenge. That's just the reality, is that if somebody else is benefiting, then NBA Top Shot is creating value for someone else. It's just not you this time. Like this one, or the MGLE challenges. It's like I don't go into the MGLE challenges thinking that I'm predisposed to even get anywhere close to those, because I don't have that many MGLEs. So every challenge is not for everyone, and the Flash challenges are no different. They're just another challenge. Like, if I look at the Fresh Threads challenges, I wasn't going to be anywhere near that to be able to get that value, and I didn't think I would, so I didn't even try. There's certain... Flash challenges are fun. They bring us sort of an element of DFS or fantasy, which is fun, can be exhilarating on a night-to-night basis. But, again, there's no way to tell the future. There's no way to know what... there's a way to know how many collectors have what, but there's no way to set it up so that you can definitely predict who is in a position to benefit from that challenge on that night, because you don't know who's going to do what. So... My take would be, just be happy for the people who benefit. Just be happy for the people who get a pack. If you're looking at this from your perspective, then yeah, you might think, it's too hard for me. But if you're looking at this from someone else's perspective, you might be able to say, someone else is having a good night tonight. Like Magic fans, do Magic fans get a break all that often? Maybe not. So, if you're a Magic fan, maybe you're thinking, this is my night. And indeed it is. If you've got Franz Wagner, because you love Franz Wagner, tonight's your night. So, Flash challenges aren't meant for everyone. MGLEs aren't meant for everyone. Fresh Threads aren't meant for everyone. Hustle and Show's not meant for everyone. Series 1 ain't meant for everyone. Run It Back ain't meant for everyone. I had a night because I have Archive and Run It Back 0506. That's my jam. I love historical basketball, just in case you needed to know that. And, you know, certain cohorts should be rewarded based on how dedicated they are to their set. It's that simple, you know. And if the result is going to be random like it is for all Flash challenges, or it's going to be completely unpredictable or, you know, only to a point, then that's kind of that. So everybody have some perspective here, please. You know, don't get too entitled here. You know what I'm saying? No one's entitled to a pack. No one's entitled to a challenge. We all got to sort of sort this out within our own means, within our own limits, and realize that someone is having a good night, every Flash challenge. So with that, I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't go crazy, man. I don't mean to offend anyone. I hope everyone's like, oh, it's not fair. You can't afford what you can't afford. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. Players are gonna have points, and you know, the variety is great. It just means that everyone can't do everything, and that's okay. So, you know, I think big picture. That's what I do. That's my job, all right? I like making content. I like thinking big picture for everybody to appeal to as many people as possible. Just join me on that, would you? You know, just think with me in the grand scheme of things for the future to come. It just means that you can't please all the people all the time. It's just basic math, you know? I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to get a common pack, you know? And we all want packs, and that's why we want Flash challenges to all be attainable. But if the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to beat the Sacramento Kings in all likelihood, and you need a LeBron archive, then the people who have a LeBron archive are going to be happy, and the people who don't aren't going to get as much value. But the people who do are going to get a lot of value for their you know, previous early investments, and that's good. That's what we want to see. So it does balance out for somebody. Somebody gets value every night. So just consider that. Just realize that we're all in this together, and it'll be your turn eventually to win a Flash challenge, to really get some value out of that. It will be your turn eventually. It'll be everyone's turn eventually. No matter if you are collecting, if you are truly collecting, your turn will come. Simple as that, right? On that note, everybody have a good night, and I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of mine. Peace.